movement to a movement to amend the Florida state constitution is back in effect. It's one I've told you about before, but they're back at it because they need signatures. Let's talk about it here on the next episode of Guns and Gadgets.
Well, at least they're doing it correctly. You know, you got a fight there where they need signatures and then you have to vote on it. Well, that's democracy. And the democracy part is creating the Constitution. The democracy part is not Congress. That is representative, a republic. We gotta go back to it. We gotta go back to the idea that the Slate Lake, each one of the counties sends a representative. The senator should not represent more than one county. Should not be popularly elected. The checks and balances are gone. Because right now in Virginia, the senators would not pass. The councils would send Republican senators or people who would not vote to take guns. It's overwhelming. We don't have a republic anymore. And Donald, you have a sworn duty to make sure we have a Republican form of government, and having the senators elected by democracy broke it. It's broken. Very broken. So broken. It's just so broken. Prince William County is pulling a fast one. Prince William County trying to pull a fast one on sanctuary repeal vote on Tuesday, January 7th. A repeal. Highland County to vote on sanctuary resolution on Wednesday, January 8th. Virginia Beach to vote on sanctuary resolution on Monday, January 6th. That's today. Clark County to vote on sanctuary resolution on Monday, January 6th. That's today. Okay. In order to sneak by a vote to repeal Prince William County sanctuary status and to back the governor's gun control agenda, the new Board of Supervisors has moved the vote from 7 p.m. to 2 p.m. on Tuesday, January 7th. Have no doubt they don't want a crowd there when they do that treachery. Well, it's sedition. And Prince William County, maybe they have some Chinese businesses in there and they came in and lobbied them. You know, the fact that our news and people are calling the Iraqis militia, and they're saying they're Iranian-backed militia, is a pretend or a precog, pretense, aboding for what they're going to do here in the United States of America, is that they're going to say that the militia in the United States of militia is backed by Russia. Watch. They're going to start saying that kind of shit. It's coming. I just know it. Have no doubt they don't want a crowd there when they do that insurrection, that treachery. Well, if you're going to call it treachery, call it insurrection. They don't care what the Constitution says. The Williamsburg Foundation says shall not. It says it should not be infringed. That comes out of William and Mary University in Virginia. And a lot of people don't understand that Democrats don't care what's written down on a piece of paper. They break promises. And speaking of breaking promises, look at that. Crunch, crunch, crunch. USA Today successfully held anti-war rallies with Answer. They promoted it and then they covered it. So it was a USA. That's their. So if you're in ACT now, you look at USA Today to get your marching orders. A flag of revenge in holy city of Guam. Does Saudi Arabia feel threatened by the new Muslim alliance? As Riyadh was not on the best of terms with most of the countries included in the core group at the inaugural session of the KL summit, a backlash could be expected. I got cookies. New York Times reveals America's weapons makers drive Trump impeachment. Hustler Christmas card, Xmas card, because it's not a Christmas card, it's an Xmas card. The Xmas card depicts Trump being assassinated, bringing conservative horror and liberal joy. Well, not a single person in the cartoon is upset. I shot somebody on Fifth Avenue and nobody said a word. I just shot Donald Trump on Fifth Avenue and no one arrested me. Wah, wah. Wah, da, 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 dum, ba, dum, bum. Does not show. Open image in new tab. I'm in charge. There we go. That's a hell of a big picture. I'll save. Save image. Pics for chat. Sniping. That's what this is. It's been a while since I sniped. 01, 06, 2020. Got to get used to that. That's a new one, man. It's messed up my file system. So Prince William County is going to go back on the sanctuary. Well, guess gotta expect that. It's just kind of the way it is. La 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 la. Come on. Save image. There we go. All right. And now I'm behind the scenes. I'm actually going to print this. We're printing on glossy. I'll have to walk back and forth. Oh, well. Yeah, it's ridiculous, man. Let's see what Fox News Pentagon reporter has to say. Since my power's on, I know that nothing has occurred. But there's this... I think they're waiting until they bury the guy to actually do anything. Lucas retweeted, Trump on Iraq wanting U.S. to leave. If they do ask us to leave, if we don't do it in a very friendly basis, we will charge them sanctions like they've never seen before. It'll make Iranian sanctions look somewhat tame. See, sanctions are a way of charging, charge them sanctions. Okay. Well, yeah, it's reasonable. if they don't do it in a very friendly basis. I don't know what that means, but Trump on North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. I don't think he'll break his word to me, but maybe he will. And here's your sign. Yeah, I mean, that's Donald, that's a lot of words to say, I don't know. Until he does, Semper Fi. Or if he does, dun, 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 we'll charge him even more sanctions. Trump defends his cultural site threat. They're allowed to kill our people. They're allowed to torture and maim our people. They're allowed to use roadside bombs and blow up our people. And we're not allowed to touch their cultural site? It doesn't work that way. They're not allowed to. What? You're saying they're allowed to kill our people, torture our people, maim our people, use roadside bombs and blow up our people. And we're not allowed to fuck. Trump on retaliation from Iran. If it happens, it happens. If they do anything, there will be major retaliation. Yeah, I mean, goddamn, man. You talk about just being absolutely sane. 17 hours ago, U.S. military says attack by al-Shabaab in Kenya base killed a service member and 2 American defense contractors. 2 U.S. service members wounded. Bum, 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 bum. Now let's go to the Arab side of the world. I might not be able to read it, but who knows? Well, this dude still hasn't gone away from Pakistan tourist attractions map. I'd like to go if you guys weren't so violent. 31 minutes ago, interesting to see Abdullah, Afghan's chief executive, member of government supported and backed by U.S., visit the Iranian embassy in Kabul today to condole. Is that a fucking word? Dude, I think this is a language barrier for you. The deaf. Condole. Oh, to speak sympathetically to one in pain, grief, or misfortune. I am such a dullard. U.S. use expressions of pity or compassion, followed by with before the person, and by on for or over before the subject of condolence. Yeah. So, no. Abdullah, I imagine he is a Muslim. Abdullah, a Muslim, is said to be speaking sympathetically to one in pain, grief, or misfortune. Okay. Dude, that's Jamar Samal. You got a better grasp of the English language than me. Condole. I know console. Not condole. Condole. Console? Condole. Maybe I just never knew there was... Maybe it's too... Console doesn't exist. God, I gotta figure it out now. I'm down the rabbit hole. Console. To alleviate or lessen the grief. Oh. Condole. Yeah, okay. So you could say that he's not going to lessen the grief. He's just going to speak to it. Right? Let me see. To express sympathy or sorrow. Well, he has to. Because the way I understand it, still trying to sort all this shit out, but it's quad. Yeah. Oh, come on. You're shitting me. You're gonna drop out Encyclopedia Dar al-Islam. So he was operating within Dar al-Islam, supported by Barack Obama. He was fighting the war to liberate Arab struggle. The region in which Islam has ascendance, traditionally it has been matched with Dar al-Harb, abode of war. The region in which Islam could and should expand. Yep. Now, it'd be interesting if Donald Trump offers. See, the situation is that Iran has been already fighting with Iraq prior to us stepping in and taking over Iraq. So, that still's going on, and we did. From my understanding, we did support Iraq. U.S. supports Iran in Iraqi war. Yeah. United States support for Iraq during the Iran-Iraq War. United States for Iraq during the Iran-Iraq War. I thought we were. Who backed? Okay. But fought against him in Kuwait. Well, that's a... Israel supported Iran during the war so that Iran could provide a counterweight to Iraq to reestablish influence in Iran, which Israel lost with the overthrow of the Shah in 1979. It was more, and to create business for the Israeli weapons industry. Okay. But Iran was already at war with Iraq when we were involved. So that would be follow under So ultimately, it was Israel that backed Iran and created this mess where Iran is now in Iraq, trying to take Iraq over. Because that was going on. They were already, that was already in motion. That never ended. They might have had because the Revolutionary Guard was created for that purpose. And then they got their funding from outside sources, maybe Iran, maybe Israel, and then eventually they were getting funded by Barack Obama. And George Webb thinks that there was also missiles bought from Russia. So Donald Trump right now is in the midst of another one of those funneling aid into NGOs areas. Anywhere where the United States has military right now, the Democrats were committing fraud. You don't do it just in one spot, you do it everywhere. And since the Democrats used Ukraine as the area for the shenanigans and their shenanigans when it came to the election, they have to fight them there, because right there it just doesn't take out peripheral people. It's the heart of the matter. So when we return, we'll be discussing whatever the fuck I feel like it. Welcome back. The United States supported Iraq, and Israel supported Iran during that war. Yep, the Iranian War, the Iranian-Iraq War, Iraqi War. What was it? Where was it? How did it go? The fallout is still going on. But what I want to know is Dar al-Had, copy that. Go to translator. I want to hear it. Google Translate. Google Translate for me, please. Turkish, Arabic. There we go. Oh, into Hindu.
Sunday house. Darul Ahadi. Darul Ahadi.
I'm going to have to turn that up. I wish it was a male voice.
Darul Ahadi. Darul Ahadi.
Darul
Darul Ahadi. Darul Ahadi. Darul Ahadi.
All right. Can there be peace? Iran is working with, obviously, Pakistan. Anybody who showed up at this conference right here, right now? Let me find it again. Okay. The New Muslim Alliance. Kuala Lumpur Summit. Iran was there. List of attendees. Visiting some more Muslim countries to invite the leaders. Malaysian Foreign Minister Saifuddin Abdullah went to Oman, but Saudi Arabia, Syria, Jordan, Egypt, and United Emirates were not included for the time being. Indonesia and Iran were included, and the leaders of all these states confirmed their attendance. Okay. Plan for just a few months. Okay, what we're dealing with this is the majority of Muslims right here, and the majority of the Muslims decide Dar al-Islam. But Iraq is going to be what? Now, when the Iraqis decided in Parliament to ask the United States to leave, the Kurdish and the Saudi Arabian style Muslims left, so that they didn't have a quorum, so they couldn't pass a law. But they still voted on it without them. Speaking of which, is there a quorum requirement in order to pass laws in Virginia? I want to quorum. So I think if Iraq's going to be a secular government, it'll need to do, because it's also got Muslims, Dar al-Sol. Let's see. How do you say that? See, this is between.
دار الأحد.
That would have. Since this is a cultural thing, I'm thinking. Where is it? Go back to Google Translate. There we go. There are easier ways to go about this stuff.
دار الصلح. دار الصلح. دار الصلح.
Social. Dar al-Sol. Al-Sol. I'm hearing an S at the end.
دار الصلح.
Oh.
دار الصلح. دار الصلح. دار الصلح.
Okay. So maybe that's what has to occur. That would have to occur where there would be an agreement with Iran, Iraq, and the United States, and we'd leave. Maybe that's what has to occur, is Da'al Sol. But right now, I read one person thinking that repercussions are going to be against ISIS and Saudi Arabia. Now, ISIS was supported by us, or still maybe is. When I say it still is being supported, they're still running on the gas that we gave them. You know, and when Donald Trump whacked the Iranian jihadist, because that's what he is. I mean, we'll call him anything else. He's still a jihadist. He's fighting a cultural war for territory in what is perceived by the Muslim world as Muslim territory already, or had been, should be again. But can a secular, if it's a secular Iraq you know, the more I try to noodle this through, the Muslim culture will never sit still for a secular Iraq. They're not going to. That's why Saddam Hussein had to be the way he was, because they'll never sit still for it. Because ultimately, the culture is the entire planet. And I know of no treaty that has been labeled Dar al-Sol. I don't know of any treaty that has been labeled
دار الصلح
or
دار الأحد
with the United States and the Muslim culture and Muslim world. So, and it's been floated that the core group, Malaysia, Indonesia, Turkey, Qatar, and Pakistan, is the majority of Muslims in the world. And so they speak for what is Dar Islam, right? Dar Islam, they speak for that. Dar al-Islam. All right, we'll just say translate. Oh, hey, there it is.
دار al-Islam دار al-Islam
Dar
دار al-Islam
Islam. Dar al-Islam. Dar al-Islam. Dar al-Islam. Dar al-Islam. Dar, not all, al. Real. Ale. Dar al-Islam. Dar al-Islam. Dar al-Islam. Yeah, that's how I'm going to say it. Dar al-Islam. Dar al.
دار al-Islam
There's an R in there.
دار al-Islam
The L is there. The tongue is moving. God damn it! My tongue don't move that way. And if it did, woohoo! I'd be a totally different man. Let's see. So right now, Dar al-Islam, and these guys all said that they're doing it because this other organization, both the OIC and the GSM have not been able to propose a common currency due to difference of opinion among members. Okay. Copy. What the hell? There must be a script in their webpage. This might be Sunni. What is the difference? Sunni and I don't know. Shiite. So this is the who speaks for Islam, and the OIC and the GCC summits don't, because they have Sunni or Sunni in it. Because due to difference of opinion among members. So they'll become whichever group of Muslims will be in charge of Dar ul Dar al-Islam. Al-Islam. Dar al-Islam. Dar al-Islam. Dar al-Islam. Dar al-Ahad. Dar al-Sul. Sul. 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 Dar al-Sul. Dar al-Sul. Dar al-Sul. Dar al-Had. Had. Had. Ad. Dar al. Had. Had. Odd, or ahad, or had. Dar al ahad. Had. Dar al had. Dar had. Yeah. Hey man, that helped my neck. Thanks. Thank you, Arabic. Thank you, Lord. Thank you for everything. Yahweh, thank you. Thank you. I'm getting to the bottom of this. So Donald Trump has got his next move is to open up this summit here is it. So this is the new Arab, and look, it's a funny looking bird. And and if they put together a currency that's going to undermine the United States, all right. The Iranians who work with the Democrats are putting together, have an organization that is now going to define what is Islamic territory, and will be, as a group, able to produce, because they have their own financial system, they will be able to enter into treaties and fulfill Dar al-Harb, and Dar al-Had, Dar al-Sul. Dar al-Had and Dar al-Sul. So they will be Dar al-Islam, and they will be able to designate Dar al-Harb, Dar al-Harb, right now, because the Muslim world is split the way it is, there's no clear lines. And if these Shiite, if the Shiites, and this is the majority of Muslims, Shiite, and they all have common values, yeah. Considering that the new bloc has no competition or rivalry between participating states. So they should be able to create a currency, a common currency amongst them, and then they'll be able to just once they have the okay, and we've wiped out Obama's. Okay, basically we wiped out this new Arab. What are they calling it? A mini Islamic summit. We'll just call it the new Arab for right now. They'll have their own currency, they have their religious leader, and they have their military, and their military is Jerusalem. Quids. Al-Quid. Okay. I got it now. All right. I have Quids. Al-Quids. The city of Jerusalem. Al-Quid's militia. So the city of Jerusalem's militia are and they're scattered throughout everywhere. Did Iraq show up for this meeting? No, because they're secular. The new Arab. Trump will sanction Iraq if Baghdad expels U.S. troops. Well, no. No, if they do it rudely. Okay, if Iraq is going to be part of the Islamic sphere, we need to have. It needs to be done with either Dar al-Had, Dar al-Had, or Dar al-Sul. Has to be done with one of those. And not as Dar al-Harb. If it's done as Dar al-Harb, then we've got a problem. So the next move is new Arab. You've got it wrong. Trump, if the U.S. is expelled without a treaty, it's either a treaty or sanctions, right? Treaty or sanctions. So that's what it's about. It's treaty or sanctions. I figured it out. What's going on, man? I feel very comfortable with what I figured out. And so, Donald, I got what you're doing. Treaty or sanctions. We'll leave. We'll leave either way. Gotcha. I totally get it. I totally get it. God bless the United States of America.
Gentlemen, prepare to defend yourselves.